I think in a way art has held me all my life in a way that nothing and no one has. I never became an artist to make money. It is not something that I do. It is something that just is.
You have managed to cause quite a bit of a splash, if I may say. From Karan Johar to Nagarjuna to Anil Kapoor to Trinetra Gumbaraju, everybody is wearing a Venkat Gaddam original.
Like, I think one word which I love is wow. It should not be okay. It should be like, is this wow? Then I will send it to a client. Is this wow? Then I will create it.
Right.
Then I feel energized to put it out there. I don't want to keep dreaming and stay in stagnant places which stink up my life.
We spoke about your mom and how she is so artistic and so inclined towards all things beautiful. I feel like it would be a great disservice if we didn't talk about your dad also.
It's always like you have to change first before expecting somebody to understand you. When you do function from a place of conviction, then the world resonates with it. Even if it's your own parents or anybody. I don't want this to become like a commercial thing where people are like, हाँ ठीक है. You know, I didn't want some rich person to come and be like, 5 pack kar do, you know. I would love it if you came and bought something from me and, you know, absolutely like obsess over it and, you know, wear it whenever you feel like it's my moment, it's my time, and this is what I'm going to wear. I'm going to wear Venkat Gaddam that day.
Hello and welcome to the Shezzi M Show. This is a podcast that highlights the vagaries of 21st century living and how to hack it. I am your friendly neighborhood Shezzi, and you know there is this Madhuri Dixit film called Aja Nachle, and उस picture का dialogue एक याद आ रहा है मेरे को, that काम समझ करके करोगे ना तो मुश्किल है, प्यार समझ के करोगे तो कुछ भी नहीं. My guest today is, I think, a living embodiment of that. To him, work is love, love is work. If there was one person who I thought is prime candidate to invite for the Shezzi M Show and the 21st century hacks and all of that, it would be him. He is an out-of-the-box thinker. He is constantly trying to evolve, to grow. He is somebody who is a bit of a risk taker. He's a dear beloved friend. He is a poet, a designer, and an artist. And he is Venkat Gaddam. Hi.
Hello. Thank you for this beautiful introduction.
How are you today?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
Let me actually tell you, you are resplendent today.
Thank you.
You look stunning. And by the way, the artist and the art. Oh wait, hang on. The art and the artist, right? This is also a Venkat Gaddam creation. And speaking of Venkat Gaddam, Whencut Gaddam. Where is this name coming from?
So basically, when I went to college in Parsons in New York,
Yeah.
and you know they literally don't know how to pronounce anybody's names. So I had made up this name like Whencut Gaddam as just a play on my name, as a fun thing that I could just kind of use. And I used to have a blog back in the day,
Right.
like Venkat Gaddam, and I used to just type like, I think in general like since 2011 I've been writing blogs, just journal entries and stuff, and I would share it on this blog that I used to have, and that used to be called My Creative Space and used to be called Venkat Gaddam. And then years later, when I was kind of thinking of like opening my business and stuff, and then I was like, hey, what do I name it and this and that, and my sister was like, you have such a cool name, you should just make it that, like this is a funky cool name that people really respond to. And I think this is the beauty, right? You do something with love, you never know how it's going to turn out. Like even coming up with a name, like literally random people have come up to me and they're like, can you make a name for me? And I'm like, excuse me, like I do this only for myself. And that natural, beauty and love that you have for your own self and comes out so naturally. So I think like something that's made in a sense of fun turned out to be something that, I'm known by today, which is beautiful.
And that's exactly how life should be, fun and
Yeah.
whimsical and
Yeah.
not taken too seriously.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You spoke a little bit about self-love and we're going to talk about that at some point. But right now I want to begin the begin. When were the first inklings of art entering young Venky's life?
I think for me, I always say that art chose me before I chose art, which I think in a way art has held me all my life in a way that nothing and no one has. And that's why it's such a sacred and a spiritual thing for me. It is not something that I do. It is something that just is.
Right.
So I don't know, my mom keeps telling me how, if she had to make me do something, she'd be like, I'd let you paint. and
wow.
then I would negotiate you to do your tasks for the
Right.
day. And she would be like, oh, if you were angry, if you were happy, you would just go and, scribble, and then you would just feel like better and stuff like that, which is crazy now when I think about it. But I think like that's just something that, even Pablo Picasso says, oh, everyone's an artist.
Yes.
It's just some survive.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's true because, when I see anybody creating something, it's such a beautiful organic process.
Yeah.
That they all become kids, we all become that person who wants to make this the prettiest thing that is possible, or can we, in what best way we can express it. So I think I also was a very silent person for many, many years of my life. And I think that I can only speak through my art.
Right.
Now I speak through many other ways, but at that point, I think art was my only form that had taken such a beautiful outlet and expression, and became a voice for who I was.
Lovely. And you were 12 years old when you had your first exhibition.
Yeah, actually, this is what I tell people. And I also had a smaller exhibit, like I think, I don't remember, maybe when I was 10 or 11 at home. And then my grandfather had come and inaugurated it. That was just like a homely thing. It was very sweet, actually, because, we put up like a bunch of paintings at home, and then just call like family and friends at that point. And then my siblings had auctioned my artwork at home.
How cute.
Which is so sweet. Actually, this is the story that I haven't
so
told people about. And then later, when obviously I made more work and stuff like that, I had an exhibition when I was 12 years old. That was a more public one.
Right.
And, the then Chief Minister, Rajshekar Reddy, had come to inaugurate it. And I had like 100 paintings, 150 paintings or something like that, which was amazing.
So cute that you spoke about, and thank you for sharing that story, that your granddad inaugurated your little exhibition. And I know that you come from a business and political family. One would just assume that they would have said that your natural progression is you have to join the family business, But here is an example of them coming together, rallying and saying we're going to support you. And was it like that?
I feel like, everyone around you can always see your strengths, can always see you shining. They can be like, oh, you know what, like all my siblings, they were always like, I'm the youngest of 4. So they would always be like, you're the talented one, you're so artistic, you're so gifted, we have nothing. Only you have all the, things, and they always pride me on it. And I would be like, okay, but what do I do with this? Like, because the world that we lived around I don't think I knew any artist or anyone who was like thriving, anyone doing something different. We never had any role models like that around me, at least. I won't say they're not there in the world, but so I, without anybody even telling me anything, I would tell, like, when people would ask people in school, like, what would you be when you grow up? I'd be like, I'll join family business. Very, very, very confidently say that, because I guess even at that age, there's a conditioning that art will not make you money, and this is not a real thing. It's not a career. Right? So I think the biggest battles we fight are the ones that are in our head and what we make from the world.
You're right. It's true. It's true.
And I think when I finally broke that for myself is when I was able to do anything with my life.
In fact, one of the reasons why Venkat is over here right now is if you're somebody who's standing at the crossroads of life, and if you're somebody who's so scared to take that plunge or to start that business or to upgrade or to push out of your comfort zone and, follow your passions in your heart, this is a person, and I know him closely, and this is a person who has managed to do just that. You just mentioned that art doesn't make money is the common stereotype, and you smashed that stereotype. How?
I honestly feel like, sometimes it's very hard to believe that this is my reality as well for my own self, because and I never became an artist to make money. I became an artist because that's what my soul was calling me for. And I don't know, I have my own issues with making money and being a businessman and all that. But I feel like for me, it is a practice that is so true to me. That is the most honest part of me, my art. More than anything that I am and say, and people love me. But it's like, for me, I feel like the only purest form of me is my art. And I feel like it's beautiful that it's something that, when you do something with love, there are people who want it and there are people who want to buy it, and then I'm happy to sell it. You know, I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, hey, please buy my artwork, or please buy my this, or please buy my that. I think, and when you actually radiate that kind of energy around your work,
Yes.
your work itself has that spirituality.
Yes, this is
You know,
true.
it's where people are drawn to it naturally. You know, where you don't have to keep selling it and begging someone to be like, please come see me, or please come do this, or have a look at my page, or this, that. It's like if people ask me, I'm like, sure, go follow me, go check my page out.
Right.
You know, but I feel like that's why also it's beautiful. I guess if you do something with the intention to make money sometimes in a space which is so sacred and creative, then it feels very fake. It feels very like not real. It doesn't touch the heart as much.
Absolutely.
And because I think from my heart that this has worked better for me because of that.
I said na pehle se, love is work and work is love for Venkat. It's really, really fascinating because I've just come to the realization that these are things that should be looked at from the perspective of everything else, financial, etc., is just a byproduct.
Yeah.
Talking to you, I feel like that is something that has just gotten reiterated, and I'm really grateful to you for sharing that. But was there ever a time in your life where you felt like doubting yourself that, you know, have I jumped into this too fast?
Only every day. No, I feel like sometimes, you know, people always think that, oh wow, you're doing something you love, you must be enjoying life. And I'm like, what crap? Like, this is bullshit, you know. I feel like business is still business and work is still work.
Yeah.
And you are still you. So I feel like irrespective of what you do or how you do it, you still have to do it.
Correct.
So I don't think there's anything easy about anything in life. And you have to do what is required. Like, I always see it as my dharma, you know. Not that I know anything about it, but I feel like it's my duty. Like, I feel like this, I've taken the role of running this business or creating something, then it's my duty to finish the steps for it to reach where it has to reach and to do justice to that. So that's how I see it. I don't see it as anything else but that.
And a little while ago, you just mentioned how, you know, if I love what I'm doing, and then, you know, people will automatically just gravitate towards you, and
you have to, all your job is to present it and to present it well and to market it as much as you can, so that people know that you exist.
Yes.
People know that there's a person there who's doing this work, and I think that's my duty, is to do a, you know, bloody good job where I can spread that word across as much as I can.
And you have managed to cause quite a bit of a splash, if I may say so, because I don't know, from Karan Johar to Nagarjuna to Anil Kapoor to Trinetra Gumbaraju, everybody is wearing a Venkat Gaddam original. How did this happen?
I think, you know, people would just be like, hey, you know, who's doing your PR? Like, you know, they're doing a fab job.
They really are.
Yeah, that's me, by the way.
Listen, stop this interview. We have to ask questions right now.
No, but I genuinely feel, you know, when you're doing something and you have a goal towards something, things, you have to work hard and then you have to leave it a little bit and then it just happens. I mean, obviously, I do remember a very desperate version of me. When I initially started reaching out to people, I was like, koi bhi pehen lo, you know, in my head, there is no standard. When you're starting off, you're like, koi bhi pehen lo, you know, koi bhi chalega.
Even though, खींच के मेरे को tag करो.
But I feel like in your heart, you have your standard. My standards are very high in general.
Yes,
for my own self and for everything. But, you know, when you're starting something, you're just like, you think you want exposure and this and that. So, kind of willing to bend a few things. But in my head, I was like hoping for beautiful things to happen. And I think all you have to do is want to do something. This is what I genuinely believe. If you want to do that, you know, your mind, your body, your soul, will everything work in coordination for that to happen. If you don't want to,
एकदम शिद्दत से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात. And all of
puri
that.
kainat also, and you also. Like, I think I'm like that. Like, it's like if someone tells me what to do, I am not going to do it. Like, I have to make my mind up and be like, why am I doing it? It has to burn my soul.
Fire in the belly, Venkat.
Yeah. So once it burns me, then no one can stop me.
Nice.
Right? It's just like I have to make my mind up being like, this is something that's valuable for me and I want to do it. So I will do it. And then I think like beautiful things just happened. And I think yesterday you were asking me, you know, who's the one celebrity? I think for me that would be Shahid Kapoor, because when he wore it and like I finally saw pictures of it, I was like, oh wow, this actually happened.
I know, right? And
like,
I already like Shahid, so. This is a PG-13 conversation. I must remember that. But oh gosh, yeah, delicious.
Yeah, and actually,
Sorry.
it's funny because I'm very like I go through my ups and downs emotionally, and that time I was going through some low phase, and things were just quiet around me, and then suddenly this came up, and I was like, oh my god, this is so exciting! Like
What a trip that it's like bulbs sparking in your
yeah,
head.
because I think there's so many things like the cup to lip kind of thing. Like so many things can just make it and not.
Yeah.
Like I've sent my clothes to some very very successful people and famous people, and they've not worn it.
Right.
So I feel like it's all luck, that day, the energy which I believe this a lot, the energy with which you do things.
Yeah.
Like if you do something from a desperate space, you are not going to get it.
That's true.
And the times when I feel like, okay, I've checked everything I have to do, now I'm sending it out. Now if this has to work out, it will. It has worked out for me. Whenever it has had to work out. Divine timing, I believe in that.
Okay, tell me about the Anil Kapoor story, but...
So I think this goes back to the dharma kind of conversation and doing my duty. Is that I'm a very shy person. So for me to go out and reach out and, introduce yourself and be like, hey, this is what I do, blah, 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 is very hard in general. And I happened to be in Bombay for an art exhibit, and it was a very small crowd, and, I bumped into him and I was like, hey, I'm a really big fan of yours. And then I was like, I love the clothes that you wear on Instagram. And he was like, hey, I like what you're wearing. And I was like, oh, really? Then you should get it. And then he was like, how? I was like, take out your phone and follow me on Instagram.
Listen, that is so cool.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that's all it takes, the courage to really just
ask.
Forget about, oh my God, I'm too embarrassed to do something like that, and just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And I know that, you're contrary to what our friends right now would say, you are actually quite a shy person.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what level of courage it must have taken that first time to do it.
Yeah.
And then I'm guessing after that it became very easy to tell, because that's
no, but
how
after
we
that
met
I've
too.
never had to do that again.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was someone who I wasn't ready to meet per se, like I just stumbled upon him. And it just happened to be a very, spontaneous conversation. So I wasn't really prepared. I think when you over-prepare is when we all usually screw it up for ourselves, right?
Truth.
We think too much and then we act out of nervousness. It wasn't really planned. I did it. Also because he appreciated something that I was wearing, which is the biggest validation for an artist, right? Because we are always creating in our little rooms thinking like, oh, I don't know if anything's ever going to happen with this in the future or in the present, or someone's going to even see it and be like, oh, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. Like, I think one word which I love is wow. So I'm like, is it wow?
Is a wow.
It should not be okay. It should be like, is this wow? Then I will send it to a client. Is this wow? Then I will create it.
Right.
Then I feel energized to put it out there.
Right.
Because if I don't feel that, then I'm like, I don't want to do it. I'm 100% in or 100% out kind of a person. So I think like, I really like that experience. And also I think like when you're shy and you're just like nervous as a person, which I used to be, I feel like what has helped me to come out of that is my work. Not because of me, but because I felt like, hey, I started something. Yeah. This is my child. I need to protect it. I need to honor it and do justice by it. Because there's a lot of work and there's a lot of masculine energy that I feel like I have picked up on the way, like, just the confidence that you're like, hey, I want something to be done and I'm going to actually do it. Yeah. And it's going to be done. I think that gives you a lot of confidence that you're like, hey, I wanted to do something and I actually did it. Yeah. It's as simple as just setting your mind to it and actually doing it. Yeah. It sounds harder than it actually is. It's actually easy.
Until you actually do it and realize how easy it is.
Yeah.
But I think you big it up in your mind.
Yeah, even now, right? Yeah. It's like when you want to do something and then you're like, then you have to remind yourself, like, hey, you've done it before. Yeah. There's something you've put your mind to and you've done it, so you can do it again. It may be a different page, but it's still the same book.
And I love how this conversation is so much about, energies and spirituality and dharma. But I also know for a fact that contrary to the stereotype, and I'll be honest, I like to subscribe to it too, that, creative people, we don't really have a head for numbers, or we don't have too much business acumen. But I know for a fact that's not true in your case. How do you find that balance?
I don't know if I have that balance, but I just believe like I like to do my best in anything that I try to do. And like I get invited to do a lot of things for free, for money, for this, for that. I feel like with anything that I do, I like to give it my 100%. Yeah. That is just something that I grew up with. And I feel very good. I sleep a very good night's sleep and I feel like I gave my best to something. Even if I get rejected, I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah?
It's hard, it's painful, but I still feel good that I did everything I could to apply for it, or I did everything that I could do to just do whatever is in my power to do it.
How do you cope with rejection?
Badly.
But you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm a very emotional person. So I feel like, I gave my best. I did whatever I had to do. Why didn't I get it or whatever? I think that's human emotion also, which is totally fine. But I just feel like that should, and I don't want that to stop me from doing anything else in the future or to try again.
And put yourself out there again.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. There's a beautiful story you were narrating about how your mum has also been such a voice for your art. Would you like to share a little about that?
She also used to draw when she was younger.
Oh, that I didn't
So,
know.
yeah.
Oh.
And I guess, like, I don't know if this is what it is, but like, I'm also fourth child.
Right.
I don't know, I keep bringing this up a lot. I don't know if this is even important, but I think, like, because everyone has already done a lot of things, I guess there was an opportunity where there was like, hey, listen, you know what, this child is doing something on his own and is being something different from everybody else. Why not encourage him?
That's so lovely.
And I think she could see the child in me and the adult in me and all the possibilities that I could possibly do, which maybe she also couldn't exactly know what those would be. But she truly believed in me. So yesterday when you asked me, like, how did you convince your parents to do something that was not art, like for college, that's a battle that I didn't fight. That's a battle she fought for me.
Yeah. Because I think your dad had different plans for you.
So I think he's a very simple thinking man. Like, he just knows engineering, he's like doctor. He's the doctor also. He studied medicine.
Yeah, that generation,
Yeah.
doctor, chartered accountant, engineer.
Yeah. So
yeah.
he was like, oh, why don't you do engineering? And I was like, what? No ways. Like, I am not doing engineering and stuff like that. Not like I still don't even know what is engineering. I don't even know what all they study there. And that is just something that I just, the dreamer in me has never questioned it.
Right.
Doesn't want to know it. Doesn't want to be it. So, and I guess that would bore me to death. Like, I would and could never do that. So I'm glad, and I think even there's a funny story over here too. When we were applying to colleges, I applied to 3 business colleges and 3 art colleges. Because then that war was still going on. Like, should we do this? Should we not do this? What's the right thing to do? And I didn't get into any of them.
All 6, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my mother was like, hey, listen, like, are you going to go to college or
Are you chilling at home?
are you going to just be here? Like, what's your situation, And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Like, everyone has gotten into some college. I haven't gotten into anything. Like, will I ever be up to anything? And then the next day, I received this big package from Parsons from New York, and it was such a beautiful letter. They were like, oh, it's in the heart of New York City, we welcome you.
Oh.
And I was like, can you please read this to say that this is accepted? And then I also got like a little bit of scholarship from them. So I was like very, very excited and very happy to be a part of that.
So you're the bee's knees right from the beginning, Becky. How cool is that?
Yeah, so that was something that was unexpected. I was not expecting to even get in because I just put up like a bunch of random drawings. I think like in the way that I see people apply to colleges today is so much more structured and so much more like, there are people who help you actually apply to college, blah, 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 blah. So I feel like I just did it very like randomly with whatever artwork I had. I didn't really think through, like, people think through their portfolios and stuff before sending it out. I just kind of submitted it and kind of, it's just, I guess I was just meant to be there.
Lovely. You mentioned that you're a dreamer. Do you have any advice for fellow dreamers?
I can't give like general tips, but I obviously would say keep dreaming. And even as a dreamer also, that I was telling you yesterday, the traumatic experience of being a dreamer is you're rooted in reality. So I feel like with me, I'm always like, no, I have to come back to reality. There's a need to understand what is the reality of the situation. Like, I like if someone gives me the truth, gives me some feedback or something, because I'm like, okay, that this is important for me to grow.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep dreaming and stay in stagnant places which stink up my life. I think that's also a possibility with dreamer, right? You can either dream and be somewhere amazing from that freshness and flow and glow state, and then you can also end up in really horrible places and situations if you continue to keep dreaming. So I think there's a little bit of dreaming, a little bit of reality. It's a kind of jugalbandi of the two. But I guess you have to trust your own instinct to be like, where can I dream and where can I not?
Yeah.
But I just feel as a creator that you have to constantly keep dreaming about something or the other, because that also keeps us on our toes.
Yes, it
Also, we have different lively energy when you're dreaming about something. You know, like even if it's an outfit, right? You're like, hey, you know, I ordered this outfit. I'm gonna wear it for this Diwali party. I'm super excited. You know, there's a different energy with which I function. Like even today when you said you look good, I'm like, that's something I just like doing.
Yeah, but you really look fantastic.
You know, it's like I get excited about opening the closet, thinking I have no clothes. That's one thing. And then secondly, like pulling up something and curating a look, you know, putting a nice brooch or wearing a nice ring or, you know, wearing some interesting shoes or, you know, trying to mix and match with the top and the bottom. I think it's super fun. I think that keeps you alive.
Well, what is your opinion on all those lovely people who buy 7 black t-shirts and 7 black trousers so that they don't have to make decisions?
I guess each to their own if they feel comfortable in that.
That is so polite and diplomatic.
Yeah, I can be.
What do you
that way.
really think about that, Venkat?
No, because I don't care about it. I just feel like you do you know. If you're happy and you can contribute in a black shirt,
Exactly.
you contribute.
Nice.
You want to contribute to wearing all gold and stuff, then you do you. If that's creating joy, that is something that I am taking away. I don't think it's not like all women also love dressing up, right? The more women I meet, it's like they're different kinds. It's like you'd assume that all women like dressing up or spend a horrible, awful lot of times dressing up. But that's a myth. Like, you know, it's like there are lots of men who I've met who are so much more particular about their closet and the, you know, the fit and the length. And, you know, if you see their closets, you'll be shocked.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I experience this on a daily basis. It is me. I am the woman, and I live with somebody who's like the man you described. So yeah, I totally
so
do.
it's all a choice, I guess. If that's what brings you joy, then you should do that.
I think that's so comforting to see how pro-choice.
I mean, I still find it boring.
Yeah, but at least you're not being judgy.
Yeah.
Are you?
I mean, I guess we all are judgmental at different
Yeah,
points.
of course,
I am
totally.
a judgmental person also in different situations. But what I'm learning actually, my spiritual growth right now, I think, you know, when people say don't judge others, this is a value that we grew up with, right? Like parents tell us, teachers tell us, and everything being like, don't judge other people, it's bad, it's horrible.
Right.
And, you know, I think that's why we continue doing it, is because we're like, so if it's bad, we can't do it. But, you know, but I think what I've realized is when you actually judge somebody, you're also limiting your own potential.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it from that
Yeah,
perspective.
this is just a recent epiphany that I had, is that when you judge somebody for actually doing something, you are not allowing yourself to do that. And I think we don't have to label or put ourselves in a box for anything.
Or maybe there is a shortcoming in yourself that you see which resembles what you are judging.
Yeah.
And therefore it's coming out in that format.
So it's like if you're judging someone and being boring or not looking interesting, then you always want to be interesting. That's like impossible to be.
Correct.
Like, you know, you won't give yourself that little bit of leeway that one day you dress badly, and if someone doesn't compliment you, you become like puss.
You crumble.
Yeah, it's like that's not how it should work.
Yeah.
It's like you are free to do and be anything you want to be. That's ideally, right? So, of course, these judgments are also part of it. But I think now that this epiphany has happened, it'll be interesting to see how I judge things and people, because I do feel like I don't want to limit myself anymore.
Yeah.
Not that I want to be a good person to not judge, but I want to revisit my values on judgment.
So is that the goal now? To be limitless?
I think is to do justice to my soul, right? Whatever I want to do, I think is to listen to your heart.
Nice.
Like today I want to speak up, you speak up today. You don't want to speak up and you have the courage to speak up but you choose not to, that's also fine. It's not like those values have to be used in a certain way all the time.
Zabardasti mat karo.
Yeah, zabardasti mat karo with your soul and your body.
Yeah.
So if you don't feel like doing something, don't do it because it has to be done or it's right according to somebody or some...
That also takes a lot of courage to not do something that you don't feel like doing.
Yeah.
Very lovely. I'm going to now get into a very typical stereotyping you as an artist question. You know how everybody really believes that creativity or art comes from a place of total angst and there has to be dard, dukh, peeda, hai. And then you create beautifully. Is it true?
I think that's true for everyone, right? Like we all go through some pains and trauma in life and that always builds us to make us better individuals.
I agree with you, and
Yeah.
I think some of my greatest, back in the day when I was on the radio, you know, if there was a death in the family or something, I think those are the days my conversation, my connection, more than conversation, flowed effortlessly. But I also feel like I have created from such a place of joy also with equal amounts of dexterity. So in my case, I've never felt that I need, like that, what was that Rockstar Ranbir Kapoor movie where he was this chiller dude, and then suddenly all that happened, heartbreak, Nargis Fakri, etc., and then he was suddenly this, I don't know if I really needed that bigger jolt, is my opinion, or maybe I haven't really maximized my output quite yet. But what are your thoughts on
I don't
that?
think we have to go by that formula per se. I think sadness just finds you at some point or the other.
Of course it does.
So I think what the beauty of it is not that you have to go through the sadness. It's just like that you have the resilience to come out of it. That's.
But has your art realistically also been banging because you've gone through like phases, and from there, from the fire of that angst, something beautiful has come out. Is that ever happened?
That's what I feel. I feel like as a human being also, and as an artist also, when you go through something, there's substance and depth to a person when they've gone through something. So when they create or when they express from that place, there's a sense of like, I don't know, depth to it, right? So I also like when people tell me that, my work is not something you can just see once and be like nice and then bye. It's something that you can revisit and you notice something different every time you see it.
Yeah.
I'm sure like, when someone is seeing the sari, they will notice different things at different points as they navigate through the work. It's not something like it's just a pretty picture. I guess there's nothing wrong with being a pretty picture, but I feel like when there's more depth to it, you can spend more time with it. And I think that's what art is also supposed to do, right?
Absolutely.
It is an invitation. So you come and you sit with your emotions and you navigate through them being like, hey, I'm hating this because blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm liking this a lot. Which is why I think like art has that power where it can engage all of us in such a effortless way.
Yeah.
And that's what I also say is that art it's like an effortless osmosis between me and the world.
Oh, lovely.
The universe and me.
And I totally, for example, by the way, this piece is called Nirmala Reckons.
Yeah.
And every single time that I wear it, I do notice a different version, a different lady, a different face coming out. And today, as I was draping it, my 3-year-old daughter was looking and saying, "Mommy, pretty, pretty." And then she saw one tiny face and she said, she's pointing to one of the images where there's a bindi. She says, "What is that?" Because I know she likes bindi, and she's waiting for me to clarify and confirm that it is in fact a bindi.
Yeah.
And when I did, she had this beautiful smile, and again I got to enjoy this one more time through her eyes, and I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
And speaking of all these wonderful portraits, I've noticed that there's a lot of women in the work that you do.
Yeah. So I think I've been raised by my mother, by 2 very beautiful sisters, and lots of help growing up. So I've seen women from and because I never had any friends, I never went out of the house. I think I was always at home, and I would see all the struggles my mother went through as a woman, as a just a human being. And my sisters also. I think that's why they say, written by a woman, like a man written by a woman. It's true because, when a man actually knows what all a woman goes through, he is genuinely humbled. Yeah. Like there's so much that women go through that men don't even have an iota of an idea. Yeah. And I always used to wonder as a child, being like, women go through so much, why don't they tell men? Yeah. Men are always so like ununderstanding of what women go through. Do they even know what all they go through?
I think they have a fair idea,
Sometimes, but you'd be surprised by how much a woman does for her child or for her home, that a man has no idea that is even part of her role or, in a day, how much my sister...
बच्चे तो mushroom है, पनप जाते हैं.
Yeah. Not just that, but like a home and, so many things, like getting, something that you want to get your kids dressed well. That is something that a woman thinks. Yeah. Like, I want them to look presentable. I want them to have a good time. And to curate and create that world for them. Yeah. It's something. So I always do wonder, like, why is there no women representation in terms of just their stories or narratives or anything? And I was like, I guess I don't think I thought about this as a child, but it makes sense to me now that I grew up around so many strong women. And it just effortlessly, came out and through my art.
Lovely, yeah.
And I think like every woman is different and same at the same time.
Yeah, actually.
And a lot of people ask me like, who are these people? Who is a Srilata? Who is a Subbalakshmi? Who is a Sarita? A Rekha? Nirmala? I feel like, I am them and they are me. It's like we all are the same. It's just, we have different forms and different bodies and we look different, but we are the same. Emotion is the same, heart is the same. So I feel like my thing is like also I'm interested in psychology and human study and how humans just behave.
Yeah.
Also grew up with so many people around me. So I would often think like, what is this person's story? What lies behind this person? Like I've met Shezzi today, like what are the parts of her that she doesn't share with me?
I'm always, you got time?
Right? So I'm always very curious by the quiet people, the people who don't share, or the people
So
who.
you're clearly not curious about me, then are you?
No, I am curious. I think when I see people, I mean, not you, but I'm saying in general, when I see people who talk a lot but don't reveal much, I'm like, what's going on with you? Like, why are you like this?
She a woman of mystery.
Not just mystery, like she's
Listen,
running.
I'm telling myself, feel like I'm a woman of mystery.
Like, what is she running away from?
Ooh.
Because there's some people who like I give only serious answers. Like I'm very deep, Like if someone asks me how are you, like I'll literally tell them that. They're like, how are you? I'm like, come sit next to me for an hour, I will tell you about my life.
Right.
If you have the guts to listen to it. If you want the regular short answer, I'm fine. I'm surviving, I'm thriving. But that's a too short an answer to give for how are you. That's a very deep question by itself.
We spoke about your mum and how she is so artistic and so inclined towards all things beautiful. I feel like it would be a great disservice if we didn't talk about your dad also.
Yeah, so I always tell people, like I was talking about earlier, each person is so creative in their own ways, is that he has a very good eye too. So, we would go shopping and he would like pick the best outfit in 5 minutes. He doesn't like to waste time because his time is very valuable. So he would go pick the best thing and be like, this is what's the best for you, take it, no discussion.
Nice.
So, and when I was a kid, I guess only I had the privilege of going shopping with them. Like furniture shopping for the house and stuff. Like he used to have really good taste. And I used to like whatever he used to like and I'm like, okay, I like. So, I see that, and even today I think the way that he sees me and WG and all that, I think he is my biggest cheerleader.
Yeah, but was it always the case?
I think each person is different. Like I'm a very different person from in general people, but also like from my siblings and stuff. So I would say that I take a little bit of time to get to know. And also like I mentioned yesterday, like I would have different rules and I would express myself differently. When we were younger, he would travel and he would call us and he would be like, hey, did you eat? Did you shower? Did you do your homework? Those were the 3 questions he would ask me. And I'm like, if you don't ask me those 3 questions, I will talk to you.
Nice.
So I used to be very like opinionated about certain things. And so I've been different all my life. It's not like I just grew up one day and I was different and he didn't know. So I think like when it comes to something like a creative thing, if something he doesn't, he's like, what's going on? I have no idea. Like with a genuine interest of like, I cannot help you because I don't know what this is, what you're doing. But then I think once I started doing what I do, I think this is the thing, right? It's always the chicken and the egg. It's always like you have to change first before expecting somebody to understand you.
Beautiful. Absolutely.
Because, when you do function from a place of conviction, then the world resonates with it.
Yes.
It's not the world resonating with you first. It doesn't happen that way.
Correct.
So even if it's your own parents or anybody, I think it's like when you actually show yourself that you can do something and you want to do something, there's interest to do it, then the world is like, hey, that's cool what he's done.
Yeah.
And I think that I did that through my art and the way that I started the business. And I think that's why I chose him to launch the logo for my brand. Yeah. And I was like, I want a man like him to inaugurate the business of my business. Because I've been in rooms where, it's just management, right? It's just me, him, my sister when we used to work together, and others like top management. I've never seen him asking about money. He is always like, we have to do the right thing. And if we're doing business with somebody, they should get value from it too. So, and we have like a news company and everything. And even over there, he would always be like, what does the normal person want to hear? Let's give them that.
Right.
Do not censor what needs to be censored. Do not give them gossip and controversy. Give them what news is supposed to give somebody. And I used to find that so pure and beautiful that someone is not making money. I think the way that we see business also is like always like the bad world of business, right? Like people are manipulating, corrupt, just like doing anything to make the buck. And all that is fair, all that is fair in that love and war because, it has to be done. Business is business.
Hai.
Yeah, it's business. It's at the end of the day, you're making money. So it's okay to do all these things under the table, above the table, blah, blah, blah. But I've seen him and my mom just being an embodiment of just being pure and doing your best. So, when you come from that, I was like, I want my business to mean that. And I want to be a businessman like that more than anything else.
How do you turn up anyways with all the chatter in the head? How do you do what you've got to do anyway? Is there a trick? Is there a technique that you've cultivated that you can share?
I don't know. I just think that maybe I don't know any other technique, rather than to just show up.
That's beautiful.
Because I'm like sucky and I'm like slumpy and not feeling my best. I'm like, it's okay, but I gave time to somebody tomorrow, so I have to just be there. And there have been times when, someone who was working for me has left for some reason. And then, I become that. I take the role. I think that's the beauty of a business. When you start a business is that you do all roles.
Yes.
Right? So
I know.
You know all the things that have to be done. The phone calls you have to make, the deliveries you have to coordinate, the follow-up that you have to do for every small thing. So I've done it. So I'm like, hey, listen, this is not the end of the world. Right? So you just go up and show up for yourself because you want to do it.
This is, you said I don't know, but I think this is the best gem you have dropped. Simply turn up. Even when you are doubting yourself, even when you're not 100%, all you've got to do is just show up and everything else will figure itself out.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And there's a very cool story to this. I'd gone to a trip somewhere and come back and I was very sad. And I was like, feeling very like, mujhe kaam pe nahi jana hai, kuch nahi karna hai. So I sit and cry. And then at that point I was like, my assistant also had left me at that time because of some health issues and stuff. And I was like, now I have to go to work. Like, I have to go do all the things and be responsible for something that, someone else was taking care of, connect all the loose ends and everything. And I was like, what? No matter how you feel, go to work, put your head down and keep working. And randomly I got this DM to be like, hey, there's this something happening. Do you want to apply for it? So then I was like, I think this goes back to that thing now, no matter how big or small something is, you give your 100% to it.
Yes.
So I just sat down and I made a presentation, I sent it in and everything and forgot about it, went back to work, blah, 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 blah. Then later I got to know that I won this award for Best Menswear Designer at Elle Graduates, which is like such a reputed magazine, such a beautiful opportunity, and it came knocking my door in my DM.
That is so cool.
To apply for something like that. And it was amazing. I feel like, I think that was a great inspiration for me, is that I always feel like God is talking to me. And I always talk to God. And I'm like, what do I do now? Like, I have no idea what to do. And then sometimes I'm like, here in a voice, be like, just shut up and go to work.
Right.
Or just get up and go and do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was God's way of letting me know that, listen, if you work hard, you will get some fruits.
Yeah.
And this was one fruit. Because then it's like, then you have some ideas. You're like, hey, listen, I want to hire a stylist for my show. It's an extra budget thing. But I was like, no, I think that'll really add. It's my first ramp show. And, I did all that. And, when I landed up in Bombay, when I went there, I got another award. Like, I got a scholarship to go study in Milan.
Yes, I followed that. That was so cool.
Yeah, so I feel like, these things just happened very naturally.
As long as you
just keep doing it.
Keep going.
I think that energy with which you show up to at work is very important.
Yeah, man.
Because when you do something with a sense of honesty, I feel like it always pays back. Yeah. When you do it from a sense of, I'm just doing it because I have to do it, then you don't get anything back. And that has also been proven.
No, but and I'll tell you something. The thing is that everybody listening would probably be like, oh, this whole energy is so esoteric. But the absolute God's honest truth is that it is really not. Energy the way you show up, the way you do things, and the energy that you carry, it has really, and I can tell you from personal experience that I vouch for literally everything that you're saying right now as far as energy is concerned. You know, you turn up with that energy and that intention, and it is bound to happen.
And you can show up. Like, I was still very, very nervous. I was very scared. It's not like I show up very confidently in these spaces. I don't think you need to also.
Yeah.
Like, I was internally, I'm like, oh my God, like, did I win this? Like, how did I win it? Like, blah, you know.
Yeah.
But I think, like, you know, when something, I think this is the beautiful thing about life, is when something comes, learn to receive it.
Ah, that's a beautiful one. Yeah, I don't think we're so second guessing, waiting for the other shoe to drop, always thinking, ye mere saath to nahi ho sakta, this could be fake. And I think we close ourselves off to
And when you
receiving.
close it, it's hard for new things to enter your life.
Yeah, bang on.
You know, so when you actually open it a little bit at least, then some beautiful thing can actually come and fall in your lap.
Yeah. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
This is good stuff. I hope you guys are taking notes. Who's your biggest cheerleader?
In this realist context, you know, you have to be your own cheerleader. Because if you don't want to do something, nobody can come and make you do that work.
Oh, that's true. And I'm also struggling with this one though. But
Because it's true. It's like anybody can come and tell you everything, like, hey, go do it and all that. If you don't feel it in your body,
oh yeah.
You are not going to do it.
Oh yeah.
So I think which was something that really helps is like taking care of your mental health. Like, you know, go to therapy, go work on yourself, like do whatever you have to do.
Yeah.
And you know, when you make yourself strong enough, then you'll attract lots of help also.
I agree.
You know, you'll attract people who want to come work with you, which is what I'm also very particular about, is that I don't want someone to just work for me because of a money, like a money kind of transaction.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know this is the high expectations I expect even from like interns and like people. I'm like, do you really want to be here?
Yeah.
Because my time is valuable. So I'm like, if you don't want to be here, please leave.
Yeah.
Do not waste my time. Do not waste my time and this work atmosphere that I'm trying to create here. I will do it alone,
Taking
but I
notes,
will
yeah.
not do it with somebody who's doing a half-assed job.
That's brilliant. I like I said, I'm just going to sit down.
Even
and
if
take
I
notes.
don't have anybody, I'm happy with that. And this is in general with me, with relationships or with friends or with anything. I'm like, if it's not something that's bringing you value, why are you there?
Don't come half-assed and
Yeah. And that half-assed energy doesn't get you anything anyways. First of all, you don't feel like going to work,
Yeah.
which is the worst. But I am very grateful. I have a lot of people in my life who are always there for me. And I think that this again is the receiver in me. I'm also a giver, but I'm also a receiver. And I open myself up to receive help and feedback from a lot of people in my life. My sister Vaish is one of them. I have friends like my friend Sam. And there's Manya, there's Abhinav. There's so many people, my sisters, Ritika, my sister, my mom, my dad, my brother, everyone. I mean, my family goes without saying. But there's so many people, and I feel like, you know, it's crazy that, you know, when you go to a party or something, you meet some random person somewhere and they're like, you know, I'm so happy for you.
yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like your journey is mine and I'm so proud of you. And I'm, you know, I just wish you the best.
Yeah.
And I feel like that doesn't come from nowhere. It comes because they're able to see through something that you're doing.
Yeah.
And that is beautiful.
And I have to tell you, your trajectory is quite phenomenal. And you know, the first couple of times that I met you and then I got to know about your work, I felt the exact same way. Like, wow, I'm so pleased that he's going places. And I don't know how you're cultivating that energy, but yeah, I can totally get by what you said right now.
I think it's the authenticity to which you do your own work and
Yeah.
the way you show up for yourself.
And stay in your lane and mind your own
Stay
business.
in your lane and mind your own business is something I try to do.
Nice.
Most of the time, at least.
Yeah. That's okay.
No, but
For
see,
the
because,
most
you know,
part
we
is
also
big.
project, you know, we are constantly
Yeah.
projecting on things and people.
Yeah.
And draining ourselves. I think when we don't do that is when we have energy to actually focus on ourselves and our work.
Absolutely. In fact, you know, the other day I saw Karan Johar and actually Nagarjuna, you know, wearing what you've designed so beautifully. I've always wanted to ask, when you are in the public eye and you know, when you have all of these people wearing what you're making and creating, how easy or how difficult is it to find that balance between your personal artistic expression and, you know, commercial requirements?
Honestly, I don't understand commerce and commerciality. I feel like I have my own sense of commerce in my head. Like, I think this is amazing. I want to make it for myself. And that will be something everyone wants to buy.
Nice.
You know, when it's again this sense of joy and just pleasure. It's literally like, I want to buy this. I want to make this for myself. I want this embroidery to be here. I want this color to be this way. And then people absolutely love it. And this is which is also why I got into the business of fashion, is because I think I just enjoy dressing up, and I would go out and people would be like, oh my God, I love what you're wearing. Like, where did you get it and how did you get it? And then I was like, hey, so there is a sense of appreciation for what I'm doing, which is something which people would see as a mindless thing, right? Like, getting dressed is not such a big deal. But I feel like, you know, when you actually cultivate it from a sense of like joy, and people are like, oh my God, listen, I could never, but you look fab.
Yeah, that's what I think of whenever I see you. So, yeah. I could never, but oh my God, you
No,
look
but
fab.
see, that's the beauty, right? I think even we've sent clothes out to so many people, so many cool people actually. And, you know, when I see them wearing it, I feel like it's new.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, "Arey, ye to dekha hai, you know, same piece hai." I feel like we all add our own beauty when a person wears it and owns it. You know, I really feel like when you own it, you hone it, and it becomes yours. That's how clothes are. You know, like you make it yourself. I'm sure the same sari, if somebody else wore, they have a different beauty and charm to it. You know?
Tell me one person in particular who wore your art and you sat up and said, hello, you made it your own.
I love whenever my mom and my dad wear my pieces.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Because also, you know, you will never get such cheerleaders in life.
Agreed.
Like, you know, the way they wear it also, because I've made it, they are so proud of me. And, you know, when they wear it and they're like, you know, my son made this.
I know, it can be a different high altogether.
It's such a sweet and honest exchange that it, like, you know, warms my heart when I see them do it. Or, you know, they show me pictures of, you know, them talking to somebody and being like, hey, you know, my son did this and he's an artist and this and that. It's something that I can't believe also. Because I think every child, I think when you grow up, you want to make your parents proud.
Yes.
So that's a deep internal need to be validated by your parents, to be seen by them.
Truth. Okay, is there any one person that you wish would wear your creations?
I don't know if this is real or not, but I love Shah Rukh Khan. Like, I would love for him to wear like, you know, WJ, SRK into WJ.
Sir, are you watching this?
Yeah,
you know, we should
sending some pure energy.
out. I was just going to do that. Let's just sit and take a moment and really send that energy out. And you never know. And since we're already on that, I'm going to just ride the bandwagon and say, sir, do an interview with me, no, sir.
You know what's funny? I had taken somebody as my +1 to when I went for that art gallery and we met Anil Kapoor.
Listen, I can be your +1. I'm just happy before you go anywhere with this story. Yeah, I clean up nice.
Of course you do. No, but so when the person I took there and when he followed me, right, it was kind of an unbelievable moment.
Yeah, man.
This girl was like, hey, mujhe bhi follow kar lo.
And he did?
He did.
Shut up!
Yeah. So there's some benefits of hanging out with
this is the point where I repeat myself and I make a great +1. I'm fantastic company, thoroughly entertaining.
That's true.
Yeah, no? Okay.
There's certain ease also. I think initially when you come from that desperate place, like, I want anybody to wear me. Then, you know, once people started wearing me, that wore off, you know. Because I was like, I'm excited by anybody wearing it. Like, I love real people wearing it.
Yeah.
Like, I like when somebody is able to see beauty in it and buy it with respect and wear it with respect and send me pictures. And
I love. Every time I wear this, I feel very goddess.
And it warms my heart and makes me feel validated in my own journey when somebody actually wears it very happily. Because I don't want this to become like a commercial thing where people are like, हाँ ठीक है, you know. I didn't want some rich person to come and be like, 5 pack कर दो, you know. I want something. Sure, I would like it, but I would love it if you came and bought something from me and, you know, absolutely like obsess over it and, you know, wear it whenever you feel like it's my moment, it's my time, and this is what I'm going to wear. I'm going to wear Venkat Gaddam that day.
Venky, the world knows you, and I can safely say the world because you're really like quite out there as a designer and an artist and everything, but you are a poet. And only some of us know it. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey?
So actually, it's also interesting how artists work because we do the thing first, what has to be done.
Right.
And then we think about what to do with it. So I think it was a childhood dream to always write a book. And I didn't know that I would actually do it one day. I just started writing, and then I was like, hey, you know what, I have enough to make a book, finally. And then I reached out to people. See, that's the other beautiful thing about running a business also. You reach out to everybody you know for anything.
Right.
And I was like, do you know this designer? Do you know this person? Do you know a printer? Do you know somebody who can pull all those strings together to make your final product? And this is the final product. It's called Durga Rises Through the Flames, which I feel like all of us are Durga at some point in our life. I definitely am. There's a lot of fire in me, and there's a lot of fire that is still waiting to come, some of which has been exhausted. And turned into some beautiful art. So this is a book where it's a culmination of everything that I am and more. It's going to be out soon. I'm going to find the right place and time to launch the book. But for now, this is the book. You can have a look.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
You know, we're pressed for time, and I feel like we could just keep going on and on. But before I wrap up for today, there is one question that I ask all my guests at the Shezzi M Show, since this is a podcast that highlights the vagaries of 21st century living. Would you like to share a cool 21st century hack that has really held you in good stead, and I'm sure will allow people to level up in their lives?
It's an interesting question. I somehow have not prepared for this.
I ask very interesting questions. Shahrukh sir, are you watching? I'm on a trip now, dude.
No, I feel like for me, it's always been authenticity. Like authenticity has got me everything in my life.
Lovely.
Whether it is a good relationship with my family, with my friends, with strangers, people on the internet. I think, and also that's also being appreciated, right? Across, like, you know, people want to see personal stories. They want to see personal growth. And it is very heartfelt when you see the story of a brand owner and you're like, dude, he went through all this and he created something. It's beautiful. Like, you know, why not? Like, you know, when you see that journey and then you see that product and it makes so much sense, there's so much of value in that. And I think for me, also in general, like, I don't know if it's what, but like I can see people in a deeper way in general. So even if they are not being deep, I can see that deep part of them if they allow it. And so I feel like, you know, when you meet a deeper person, you feel so much better. You feel lighter after meeting a deeper person somehow. Because I guess there's a sense of seeing, a sense of understanding the person, life. It's nice to share life with a person who's also honest. So I think when you are honest, again, goes back to everything we spoke about also, right? With the business, with yourself, with your clothes, with anything that you do, it just makes your life a richer space to live in.
Venkat, it's always a delight to spend time with you, but I'm today I think has been just a little bit more delightful than normal. Thank you, my dearest one, for coming on
Thank you for having
the Shezzi M Show.
I'm so glad. I hope that this show becomes the most viral show with a lot of deep meaning audience members who genuinely enjoy what you do.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. If you enjoyed our show today, and I'm certain you did, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And before you go, how does one find you in the internet world?
So my Instagram is Venkat Gaddam. It's When, like when cut Gaddam. And I have a personal page called Venky Vibe, which is where I share my personal stories, which people are welcome to follow.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you in the next one.